But I'm going to kind of tell you what the Datasaurus Dozen are all about. And this is a data set that has been specifically made to illustrate why graphing and data visualization are so important. As I scroll through the data set here, this data set has 1,846 rows of data in it, and it's broken up into these subsets that are these data samples, and they are listed as A, B, C, D, etc. On here. And I'm going to go over to the graphing part of the data classroom tool, and we're going to start exploring these data. So I'm going to add first just this Y variable and look at a visualization of this variable called Y variable. Now, an interesting thing about this data set is I'm going to look at this variable called data sample for a second. And I'm just going to pop this open so we can look, and we see we have these groups A through M here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to exclude all of them except the M groups. Now, there are numerous ways you can filter your data in Data Classroom. This is just a very transparent one where you can see exactly what I'm doing. So I chose to go here. And then I'm going to apply this filter. And now we're looking at just the data points for that Y variable for that M data sample group. And it's interesting that you notice that a mean of 47.8, standard deviation of 26.9. I'm gonna now focus in on a different group. So instead of M, we're gonna look at L. So I excluded M and I included L, and I'm gonna look at this again, and we see the mean is unchanged, right? So different group of data, same mean, same standard deviation, but they're not the same data set, right? And if we were just looking at the numbers, those descriptive statistics, we might conclude that these were exactly the same. And you also might be saying, well, they don't look that different to me right now, right? But I'm going to go ahead and add this variable called X variable. So with this particular set, right, we can see the XY plot with the X variable on X, the Y variable on Y. And we look at this, we can see the distribution right away. We see this interesting pattern where it looks like we have these bands that go kind of diagonally repeating across the screen. I'm going to add a regression line, and I'm just adding this off to the right of the graph. You'll see there's that box where I can add a regression line. And so I added a line of best fit, and we can see the equation for that line. We can see that the slope is a negative 0.11, and the R squared is a 0.004 there. I'm going to go ahead and now look at a different group of data. So we were just looking at the L group. I'm going to look at the M group, and we can look at it again, and we see that the slope is almost the same. It's just slightly different. Instead of a negative 0.11, it's a negative 0.106. So very, very close to the same slope. The R squared value, 0.004, is almost identical. But when you just look at the plot with your eyes and you look at what's going on, it's a completely different set of data. It's a completely different distribution. And we wouldn't have realized that if we were just looking at parameters like the mean, the standard deviation, the R squared, the slope of the line of best fit. That was completely obscured. And each of these groups in here all have the same mean, standard deviation, slope, R squared. And there's one group in particular, this A group. When we look at this, we will see we do in fact have a dinosaur hiding in the data. And even this dinosaur, which is a clearly contrived XY plot, it has the exact same parameters. So the mean of Y is the same, the standard deviation is the same, the slope of that line of best fit, I'll bring it back. It's almost the same. It's a negative 0.103. The R squared is still a 0.004. So there's a lot about the data that you can get from a data visualization that you simply cannot get just from the numbers. So sometimes there is a dinosaur hiding in your data.